All those goals are preventable. All of them are preventable. Right, let's do the player ratings. So, my screen had gone there. Let's do the player ratings. Let's start with Onana. I mean, he's let 4 goals in. That miscontrol that led to the corner is abysmal. I still think De Gea would have saved some of those goals that have gone in. I have to say, Mark, have you seen that Rashford's brother has just been arrested? Says Jamie. I don't know anything about this. I've seen 2 people talk about it. I don't know what that's all about. Defence needs a long-term upgrade. We're appalling, says AT. I'm going to give him a 4. I think Onana tonight really has to be doing better. As a Champions League goalkeeper and what we paid for, 50 million quid, he's got to be better than that. He's got to be getting closer to some of these saves and he's got to be controlling that ball. I don't think it was a very good performance from him. Can Ten Hag justify buying Onana? He's clueless, says Kenny, and Allegri is the only thing that can save United. We'd be better with De Gea. I've said this before, but I don't want De Gea back. We've made the decision. Onana is the keeper. We've got to stick with him. He will get better, but I've said it numerous times this season. We'd be better with De Gea, and we all know that because we know what we get with De Gea. Wan-Bissaka, for me tonight, I was going to give him man of the match. Not anymore. I felt defensively he fell away in the last 20 minutes. I would probably give him a 6. You know, he was on course for man of the match. I tweeted in the second half he was fantastic, but he just fell off in the last 20 minutes. Maybe it's tiredness. Watchers beat Galatasaray and then Kane Berriers, says XNN. Maguire, I mean, I'd probably give him a 4.5. I think that's about right. I don't think it was a terrible game by Maguire. What I would say is the media do not help this conversation. Like, Man United are a better team with Maguire in it. Look at the stats. Look at the win ratio. He started 4 games. We've lost 3 and we've conceded 3, 3 and 4 in 3 of those games. This is why the media should shut up. Because they post all this shit and they jinx the life out of it. Man United are better when Maguire plays. Look at the goals they concede. Look at the win ratio. Last 4 games he started. We've lost 3 and we've conceded 12 goals. 11 goals. Just shut your gob. Shut up about it. I mean, he wasn't bad tonight. He wasn't great, but he wasn't horrific. But yeah, I mean, it just jinx, isn't it? What's happened to Lindelof? Thought he was decent at the beginning. I mean, Ryan, it's another player. What has happened to Lindelof? I mean, he's not playing well at the moment. Johnny Evans, I mean, I'd give him a 6. You can't, you know, he's nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. John says, you're the media, but I don't make silly little fucking stats that don't make any sense. Delo, I thought he was all right in the first half, but again, you've got to go 4.5. He just fell off. We can't... Look, Delo's not the only one. Delo's not the only one. Even Wan-Bissaka can't defend the back post from crosses. We know this. Our fullbacks cannot defend the back. When you think about United on crosses, we can't defend crosses, our fullbacks can't defend the back post, and our midfielders don't pick up the midfield runners. So we're absolutely wide open on crosses. Our centre-backs don't win enough headers, our fullbacks don't mark people on the back post, and our midfielders don't pick up the runners. And that's why we concede so many goals from crosses, because in every area, we're shit at it. McTominay tonight, I didn't really notice McTominay apart from the first half an hour where I thought he played well. But again, he'd be a 4.5. He just disappeared in the second half. Why is Varane on the bench? I back Ten Hag, but he's making it hard to defend. They've had a fallout, Zeus. They've had a fallout. You know, let's be honest. They've had a fallout. Varane has probably, I don't know what the fallout's about, but Varane has probably said, I'm a Champions League winning centre-back. I'm the best centre-back in this squad. And you're dropping me for a Manchester derby for Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire. I would imagine it's something like that. I'm not saying Varane's in the right, but, you know, he probably does have a point. Why am I being dropped in a Manchester derby for Johnny Evans is probably a fair thing to ask. How he's reacted to that, you know, you would hope for professionalism. I don't think we saw it tonight. Eric Ten Hag, weak on personal level with players, says Bashir. Why is Varane on the bench? I've done that from Zeus. Who would you put in the lineup for the next 2 games? Says Reckless. And United shouldn't be in a position where this game depends on if they go through. Look at where City and Arsenal is. Mate, we've made a right mess of this group. We're very lucky, Ton, to be still in it. We've made a right mess. Bruno Eriksson, I mean, to be fair to Eriksson, he did okay. You know, he wasn't part of the problem. He's not a defensive midfielder, but he did okay. Bruno, I'd give a 5 as well. I don't think Bruno had a bad game. I think up until the sending off, Bruno was playing very well, and then he's out of position, running around chasing the ball, which is not his job. I'm sorry, I feel sorry for Højlund and Garnacho. Actually, very good game, works their socks off, says Mike. This team has a lot of character. It's just not happening for us, says AT. And if Aaron Wan-Bissaka gave that hospital pass to Edison, he'd make the same mistake. Ridiculously harsh if you blame the goalkeeper, says Alvito. I still think he's got to deal with it, mate. We've got a ball-playing goalkeeper. I think you've got to deal with that. I'm sorry. It wasn't a great pass, but I still think you've got to deal with it. You don't try and control it. Boot it. If it's a bad ball, boot it. You know? If you're going to try and control it, you better control it. Rashford, I mean, look, I don't even know what to give Rashford here. I very rarely don't have an opinion, and obviously I've had a bad week with being fucking wrongly accused for causing trouble with Rashford, which I haven't. I've always been a big fan of his. I don't even know what to give him. I don't know what to give him. I don't even remember, you know, I don't know what to give Rashford because I don't think he should have been sent off. But I'll give him a 4.5 because that's what everyone else got. I don't know. I don't know. Garnacho, I'd probably give him a 6. I thought he put a lot of effort in. It's a graveyard shift when you're down to 10 men. Rasmus, I would give man of the match and I'd give him a 7. And I'm glad that everyone else agrees with that. I mean, what more can he do? He's good. He's the top scorer in the Champions League, and we are shit in the Champions League. So that tells you everything about this kid. 5 goals in 4 games in a team that's playing shite. I mean, that's incredible. And the only reason he's not scoring goals in the Premier League is because he gets no fucking service. Give him service, he'll score goals. He's going to be a superstar. I've said this before we even bought him. This kid's going to be a superstar, but we're wasting him because he's having to play in a shit team at the moment. Mark just counted, sure, 12 out of the 30 goals we've conceded this season are from crosses, says James. It's incredible. If Ten Hag makes Varane, of all people, not wanting to play, then it's on Ten Hag, says Fast. And what is the point of Mason Mount, says Slight? Well, yeah, you know. Raphael Varane, 3. I love Varane. I saw his face when he came on. I've been watching him for years. I saw his face when he came on. Wasn't interested. His whole performance wasn't focused. I love this player. I think he's underrated. I think he's absolutely world class. But I'm not going to lie for an agenda. He didn't look happy coming on. And he was never in that game. Never focused at all. Yeah, it's incredible. It really is. This is a great comment by, not my comment. I'm going to give Aiden a shout out here. Gary Neville spent 4 days defending referees vigorously, only to complain all night tonight about referees. Mic drop. Hypocrisy. Amrabat didn't play well. 4. Mason Mount didn't play well. 4. Ten Hag, it's difficult. It's difficult with Ten Hag. Still think we're going to win the Champions League. Ollie never got this much backing, says Rash. Mate, can I just say about Solskjaer? I understand the Ten Hag out crowd. I understand the Ten Hag in crowd. I don't understand the Ollie sympathisers. I never have. He was a crap coach. We got battered by Leicester, Liverpool, Man City and Watford in his last few weeks. We played absolutely shit. And the players liked him. He couldn't get a team to play well when everybody bloody liked him. Why are people still saying Ollie was treated badly, this, that and the other? I get the Ten Hag out thing. I don't agree with it. I'm a Ten Hag inner. But I do not get the Ollie sympathisers. I never have. It's like they're rewriting history. All the players liked Ollie and they still didn't fucking play for him. At least with Ten Hag and Mourinho, we know some of the players don't like him. They all liked Ollie. And he still got battered by Watford and Leicester and a load of other teams. I wouldn't bring it. I would rather have Kath from reception as manager than Ollie, to be honest. Nida Højlund, and I love Ollie. I love Ollie. He's a legend of the club. But as a manager, no way. And why has he not got a job? If Ollie's so good, why has he not got a job? At least McKenna and Carrick have got jobs. Nida Højlund at every position. Total rebuild, says Ivan. What would I give Ten Hag? It's hard to give him a really low score because we're winning 2-0. We're playing well. Rashford gets sent off. But we shouldn't lose with 10 men. So I'm going to give him a 4. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 4. Man of the match, 84% of the vote, Rasmus Højlund. That says everything. That says absolutely everything, doesn't it? I mean, most of these players are getting 4s. And you've got Rasmus Højlund there getting 84%. Well done to him. Smash a like on the video for Rasmus. If we played like that in the first half, that's dramatically better than the start of the season, says Haf. We played well in the first half. We played, you know what? In a sentence, I could have done that whole match reaction in one sentence. We played really well until we had a man sent off, and then we used it as a reason to lose. And United have been doing that for years. Brighton, this season, we played really well for 15 minutes. They scored and we gave up. This has been happening to United for years. We play really well, then something happens and we give up. And that's United. You can put it on a t-shirt. We play really well, something bad happens and we give up. We've got no bounce back ability. If Fulham had scored first on Saturday, we lose. It's as simple as that. The manager's safe. Whether you want him out or in, the manager's safe. He's not losing his job because of losing with 10 men. No, that's never going to happen. And I don't think we'll lose to Luton. The manager is safe for now. He's got his detractors. He's got his issues. He's got players in the team that aren't playing for him. That's the biggest concern. But he's safe for now. What the future is, I said it 18 months ago and I'll say it again. We're not at the bottom of the barrel yet. If you think we're going to bounce back, we're not going to bounce back. We've got big problems.